Hi everybody, as you guys all know, my name is Jessica Gonzalez and today I do my presentation based on A Crisis for Mental Health, a narrative of Black women. It's based on mental health issues specifying African American women in their communities. So why is Black women's mental health important? In America, at least. So when it comes to the mental health crisis, when it comes to women, they are subject to be stigmatized and mostly often they're affected by the systematic oppression within the United States, meaning that they become these subjects of test and people tend to see them for the exterior of who they are. So the contributing factors for the Black women's mental health and why it's so significant to today's day in society is the socio-political experiences that they include every day on dailies: racism, discrimination, and sexism. And this comes because of the targeted low income jobs, multiple role strains that they have to project to society, their different views or their different identity for where they're coming from. It could either be their immediate communities or it could be in healthcare centers. And it just depends because everybody has a different projection upon the Black females within the United States. So that way, also the problems arise because they're associated and these are fundamentals that create tension and strains from them from time to time again, and then they have to project something that they're not, especially when it's not accepting and receiving within the rules of the United States. So what do the statistics say? Approximately 7.5 million African Americans are diagnosed with mental health illnesses, where women are reported to make up 2 of 1 ratio of this population. To me, that's a lot. That's a whole community. You're telling me if 2 of 1 females are actually diagnosed with mental health issues, whether it is apparent or not. So how is mental health in Black women tied to their beliefs? Well, Black women are questioning themselves whether or not they should seek help or not. That being said, it comes from a lack of just mistrust in the government, and I do understand why. It goes further than that. It's rooted from slavery days, and I understand why it's so hard for certain minorities, not just Black women, to actually speak up and ask for help. In the 1990s, a public opinion poll showed that 63 of African Americans believed that depression was personal weakness and 31 believed that depression was a health problem. That being said, that shows that as a community that they were not prone to speak up and say yes, that they had mental health issues, or even if mental health issues were a thing back in the day. So it depends on who you're asking and why it's such a big problem in the United States, especially within Black women. They weren't taught or raised to say that mental health was a real thing until recently, that they have discovered that African Americans believe that an individual develops depression, and the only reason that they believe that if you had depression was if you're weak-minded, poor in health, or a troubled spirit and a lack of self-love. That being said, it comes to know that Black women did not believe in mental health, and that was not a thing, and they did not go back or they did not rely on something like this. So that way it has become a new form of like therapy now in today's modern society. So moving on, hopefully further, we've tried to diminish their beliefs because I feel like if there is an avenue for resource, that they should seek out resource and help. So how does stereotypes come into play with African American females' mental health and the severity of mental health? African Americans are the most in the United States are most likely to suffer from these conditions than other any race or ethnicity because of how much prone they're to not say anything. And mental health holds so many consequences just because of their unique physique, because of the stereotypes and what has been murmured throughout years and years, that they're angry, that they're this, that they're that. All these labels that the United States or within the society of the United States has placed these projections upon Black females within this country. Not that it's right. Black women also revealed in the study that stereotypes have a monumental negative impact on their mental health, such as it's the result of anxiety, depression, and hostility, and it's detrimental to their personalities because people often project them, like for example, in movies or in any kind of display media, or even like on social media. It just started becoming a good platform where women are starting to rise up again and starting to have the ideal Black woman. But other than that, the stereotypes will not fade away because that's the projection of today's society. So it's crucial to us to understand the sensitivity when it comes to the Black female's mind. So, in conclusion, I just want to bring up and reiterate some topics. Mental health is a big awareness. It's a big avenue for everybody, not just Black female, just because they've been detrimental and it's caused them so much pain and severity within the United States because they were not chosen to be born this way. And just mental health is a human, like to be human is inferior. It doesn't matter the adversity you are, and it's a real thing. I like to say, contrary to believe what we might think is the beauty of a Black woman, we should normalize that mental health issues in today's society are super important, that we should all contribute to somehow or bring an awareness, even if you have a friend or not. I feel like regardless, you should be able to understand that, especially the delicacy of being a female as it is being targeted as a female in the United States, even more so being a Black female in the United States should have some validity in order for you to provide these restraints. As far as this, on the last note that I would like to mention is that I quoted India Ari. She says that I am not my hair, I am not my skin, I am the soul that lives within. So I feel that being said, don't forget that we're all human and that I vouch and I'm a big advocate for mental health. It does not matter who you are, where you come from, because if you don't take care of yourself, self happiness is the best self. You're going to be the best self that you can be by that. But thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.